Hey guys, how you doing? It's Voodoo here and welcome to episode 24 in my Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Emblem editor series. Today we're taking a look at the Volcom logo, which I've been wanting to do for ages. It's been a hotly requested emblem. Looks absolutely super cool, awesome on the gun. So pleased with the way it's come out. It took me quite a while to do it. I did have a technical problem with the Black Ops servers. I made one yesterday and it wasn't as good as this one actually, so it was a good job that I made another one. So this one has come out absolutely spot on. Now we do go through a range of different sort of things on this. I have slowed it all down for you a little bit. It's still a little bit sped up but slower. So here's some of my previous emblems that I've made. You guys, if you haven't seen them, the videos are all online. Check the playlist in the description. You'll be able to see them. Now we start off with a black square, and I max it out to the full size of the square and turn it green. Now I do change that towards the end, but you can leave that in. And another thing I did for some reason, I started off at the end. I started off using a layer 32 to make this. You don't need to do that. You can go down to 2. I thought it was going to be easier for me because I was going to put a lot of detail in the background, but it actually turns out to be a lot more hassle. So feel free to just start from as you would normally. Put the layer 1 as the background, and then layer 2 and carry on. So layer 2 we put in a triangle, and that's sort of like the peak. Freescale that up for the top half of the emblem. Then I grabbed a lampshade for the bottom half, which you can then freescale and manipulate around and get it sort of as central as you can in the box. Now I've gone to put it on the wonk slightly because it gives you more real estate. You can make the emblem look a lot bigger. Now when I did it in Black Ops 1 emblem editor, I did it stood upright and done it like that. So then I grabbed a half heart, which is like a half triangle with a square on the end. Why that's a half heart I do not know. I say that every time, but I still have no idea why. Then you want to freescale that up and sort of get the line running just nicely with the same as the triangle. Don't worry about that little bit poking out at the bottom, and don't worry about the little gap we've got there. We're going to fill that in without too much trouble. So then we copy and pasted the lampshade, laid that over the top, and that's then going to give us a sort of black outline, and it's really sort of straightforward. Then we're going to grab another triangle, and you want to freescale that, and that's going to be the extra little bit of the edge. So just turn that black and run that in along the edge of the half heart, and then that sort of finishes off that line there. Then I grab the rectangle. You can then freescale that down. We're just going to draw a line to the bottom so it goes into that bottom corner, and that will be the beginning of cutting off the black side of the Volcom logo. Obviously anytime guys, you can pause this, you can rewind it, you can watch it again, feel free, and it's very straightforward. I've got to do them a little bit faster than what they are because this one, after I'd finished everything, it took me 15 minutes to get it how I wanted it. So but then I grabbed another half heart and covered up the rest of that black lampshade there. So now we've got a completely black and white side, which is absolutely spot on. Grabbed another triangle, freescale that, and that then sort of, you want to sit that so the bottom peak of the triangle, the one that's over to the right hand side, is sort of in line with the triangle part, the corner of the actual image. Sort of sit that around there, and that'll sit just right. Copy and paste the same triangle across. Sometimes you might want to up the black one a little bit because it looks a little bit smaller than the white. Even though it's an exact carbon copy, because you've copy and pasted it, it can still come out a little bit different. So you can up it a little bit, you can change that a little bit. So now we're sort of going towards the middle of the image where I grabbed another triangle. It's all about triangles, this one, and freescaled that so it sort of runs just nicely along the side of the triangle, the white triangle you've put in there. Once that's sitting, sort of like, there is going to be a slight difference in the gap. It doesn't run parallel, and that's how it isn't in the main image. So don't worry if you've got a slightly off sort of line that looks a little bit iffy. That's not a problem. So I grabbed another half heart there and put that in, freescaled that up. We're going to have a little overlap that we're going to deal with in a minute, so don't panic. The main thing is to get the gap sort of like right between the black and the white. Now that is a sort of I don't know how to explain it. It doesn't run parallel is the best way. It sort of goes at a funny angle. The triangle goes at an angle to the black bit, so that's going to thin out towards the end, which is exactly how you want it to be. Don't think that needs to run parallel, because it doesn't. It's got a sort of point to it. So once we've done that, we can use a rectangle and scale that down and put that between the triangle and the half heart, and we can just cover up that little overlap there, and it's pretty straightforward. You just want to make it nice and straight, freescale it down, and if you put it in the right place, you can actually have that go underneath the triangle at the bottom, and that'll still cover up the half heart, which is really easy to do. While I'm at it, guys, obviously there's 23 other emblems. I'm on episode 24 at the moment. If you go into the description, there's a link in the playlist, and you can check them all out there. Feel free to rate this video if it really helps you out. It does really put a smile on my face when I see ratings. Hit the like button, helps to try and promote the video a little bit, because it's getting very difficult with this new YouTube layout. But there you go, you saw I duplicated the half heart at the top there, and we just flipped it and put it the other side, and we're doing the same again with another rectangle, freescale that up, and then we're just covering up that little bit there, and it's pretty straightforward. Now we've got a nice Volcom image. I do sort of go for I sort of have a basic image that I do put on the gun. You'll see that in a moment, but I decided to try and go for something a little bit more sort of smart and a little bit more out there. So we're sort of getting towards the base Volcom image there. It's a very it's a deceptively difficult image, really, considering how easy it looks. It looks very straightforward, but it's quite difficult with all the different shapes and that to get it absolutely right. But what I've added here now is I've got the triangle of the base, the very first triangle we put on, and I've copied that and laid that underneath, and the same with the lampshade, and then that adds a sort of elevates the image off of the background. That's a shadow effect without putting a sort of shadow edge on the image. So it's sort of like as if the Volcom image is slightly elevated off the background. You want to just bring the lampshade slightly down, and the same with the triangle. Imagine that the light's sort of coming down from the sort of top left hand side, laying on it. So what I decided to do was I thought, I don't know, sometimes you can put too much on an image and it messes it up. Sometimes less is more. So I just put a green background on it, took it out, I get my words out, took it out, put it on the gun, thought that looks really cool. But I thought perhaps we can do a little bit better than that. So what I did was I then changed the background colours. I was going to go for white and red on the background, but it was sort of like, just because obviously the base of the Volcom image is white as well, it messes it up. So I decided to go for grey, and then I flip it out for green and black, which are my favourite colours. So orange and black look really cool, but basically what you do is you put a square background on the back, you max that out, then you want to get some triangles, and I put 4 triangles on the centre lines on the grid at the back, so you can see where they are in the middle, and then I put another 4 triangles from the point each corner of the square, and then I just sort of fiddled around with the size of them. You can up them to a nice sort of wide sort of fatness. Do them however you want. The image is up to you guys. I'm just sort of showing you the basics of what you can do. This is how I liked it. I just upped them all a little bit and made it sort of look like it's really sort of coming out of the screen a little bit. Leave the shadow in there if you want. You can take it out if you want. It's up to you, but I really like the shadow effect underneath. I think it looks really good. Then I've added a shine effect in the top left hand corner, which I really like. I did that on the Trittion one. It's just a simple effect. I used the white shade in the end and dropped it back to 31% opacity, and that then just gives a light shine. You can make it a little bit deeper if you want, or you can have it a little bit lighter, and you can add other sort of shines on it if you want. I just like the sort of simple effect. Sometimes, like I said, less is more, and if you start going too mad with it, then you start messing it up. But we use I don't use any more layers. I think it's 27 layers, so you've got another 5 layers that you can do what you want with. Obviously the colours are completely down to you. My favourite's black and green, so that's what I did, but if you've got favourite colours or you've got clan colours or something like that that you want to change, feel free to change them all out and do whatever you want with it. It's real straightforward. But it's a really lovely image. I've been meaning to do this one for a little while. The others are all coming. Feel free to leave messages in the comments section about what emblems you'd like to see. I'm doing my level best to work through them as there's a lot to do. But thanks ever so much for watching, guys. Please don't forget to rate, comment and subscribe if you haven't already done so. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. You can check me out on there, and I shall see you in the next video. See you later, guys.